Homework was a worksheet. It was our final worksheet on surface area. Listen up, please. Surface area. Usually what happens is after the second day, kids are pretty good at surface area. It's not that big of a deal. The issue is that that's where the chapter ends right there. Boom. And we go right back to three main things, which is area, volume, surface area. So even though we had a formula for surface area of prisms, we had surface area for cylinders, they're not the same formula for volume. Okay. So occasionally what will happen is, not often, but occasionally, it's usually one or two kids. Noah, come on. Hoodie off. Let's go. Occasionally what will happen is the kid will do perfectly fine on the homework. They'll do perfectly well on the quiz, and then we'll get to the test day because there's three things they're asking, and they won't be able to handle the fact that it's three different things. If it has the word area in it, it's always to the second power. If it has the word volume in it, it's always to the third power. That includes surface area. That includes these shapes, which we'll do here in a couple minutes here. The test is on Wednesday. We're going to do 2 days of review. There is no reason for anyone in this class to do poorly on it. You're going to have 2 days to practice this. The test will be exactly, I don't mean close, I mean exactly like what I'm going to hand you. The only difference is the first one, the dimensions won't be 8 and 3, there'll be something else. If you can do this practice test and get the answers correctly, you're guaranteed an A. Let's not get to Wednesday and find out that I don't have kids that are getting A's in class. So your job for the next 2 days, for some of you that are already pretty good at this, it's going to be challenging because I stay motivated for 2 days of this, not 1 day, but 2 days. Many of you will be ready for the test after today. But we are going to do 2 days of it. So I'm going to give you a 24 question, a 24 question practice test. You're going to do it in silence, I mean, minimal talking, I should say. But pretend it's a test. You should be taking your resource card. If you don't already have one, tomorrow I'll go over what should be on your resource card. Today, I'll collect it here in a second. Today, I'll let you fumble around on your own to try to figure out what needs to be on your resource card. And then tomorrow, I'll go over exactly. And if there's no surprise, it's just the shapes. So literally, as you go through the practice test, the first one's a rectangle, area of a rectangle. You should have on your resource card area of a rectangle and the formula. And then we come to triangle, and then parallelogram, and then trapezoid, and then circle, I believe is the next one. There's 5 of those. Remember, that's what our quiz was on. And then we get to volume. There's, I think, 6 questions on that. Right? For each one of those shapes, write the formula. If you need a little note to yourself, write a note to yourself. If you want to put the shape from the practice test on your resource card, even smarter. Point being is, I don't think there's any room for, if you try, to fail this test. It shouldn't happen. As always, on the practice test I gave you on the back will be the answers. You can check immediately. If you're getting something wrong, identify what did you do wrong. Try to figure out why did that cause. I mean, if you didn't understand the form, that's a different story than, oh, look, it's a triangle. I put the wrong base. Remember, the triangles can be tricky if I turn it sideways, upside down. Your eyeball goes to the square. The square touches both the base and the height. Same thing for trapezoids. The square touches the base, one of the bases, and it is the height. The red dotted line there, yours will be black, goes from one base to the other base. I don't have much to add other than that. Remember, it's 4-step procedure. What's the shape? Write the formula, plug in the numbers, do the calculations. You must do those 4 steps. I know I sound like a broken record because I've said this every single day for this entire chapter. 4 steps. What's the shape? That's the part you don't write down. You really want to trust me to write rectangle, right? Area is equal to length times width. Then you plug the numbers. A equals 8 times 3. Then you write your answer. 8 times 3 is 24. 24 miles squared. You're done. There, I just did the first one for you. That's what the test is going to be on. There's 24 of these. You should have a good feel for, can you take this test in the appropriate amount of time, because you're going to see it for 2 straight days. Questions? Any questions on the homework? Macy? Absolutely. The first 5 questions, you can see them right here, is the quiz. Well, just remember, you also have to have the other stuff on it as well, too. But sure, if you want to. Yes.
I already made my resource card.
Agreed. And what you should do is verify that the resource card you already made helped you to complete this test, Lily.
You should be really proud of me because I did something great. I brought a calculator.
I will be very proud of you if you do that on Wednesday. But yes, I'm happy you have one today, but I'm just saying, don't be that kid. I already told you I'm a complete total jerk about this. You show up on Wednesday without your resource card, without your calculator, I'm just going to tell you, hey, good luck with that. I'm not going to say it's impossible. There's plenty of kids in here that could do the entire test without it. Ace did the entire quiz without a calculator. He still got an A, but he got a low A because, well, he had errors. It's a lot of math to do by hand. He still got an A, right? You could still get an A on this without a calculator. You just don't. Why would you show up to a test where the teacher says you can use a calculator? I'm testing you on your knowledge of the shapes, the formulas, and how to use the formulas, not on your multiplication and division skills.
Those
Okay.
are low. Those are like.
In addition for trapezoids, yes, and surface area.
I made a pocket when I
Right. All right.
Smart.
But right now, as I look upon desk, I don't see many calculators, right? Please don't be that kid because I don't like being a jerk, but I did say it. I'm going to hold myself to that standard as well too. If I say it, I'm gonna do it as well too. I'll give you a reminder. Wednesday before the bell rings, I'll say, hey, resource cards, calculators. Make sure you have them. Don't be that one kid. All right, e-learners, I know you're looking at a blank screen right there. There's nothing on there. What I will do for this one is I'm going to have the worksheet up on the screen here. I'll share it with you in just a second. And then anyone in the class can say, Mr. C, I'm having problems on number 4. Show me how to do number 4. And I will do that for you. E-learners, you can type in as well too. Any questions on what we're doing today? All right, take your homework, pass it to the left. And then Jaden's coming around to hand you your worksheet.
Okay.
As I said, I would prefer that we do this in not total silence, but let's not be talking so that we can actually get work done. There's 24 problems, right? 24? It is, yeah, 24 problems. This is how many is going to be on the test. So that when you show up on Wednesday, you got 24 problems. Many of you will be done easily in 30 minutes for those 24 problems, about a minute apiece. Some of you will take the entire test period. That's fine as well too. Questions? All right, I'll be walking around as you're doing this. If you have any questions, make sure you ask me, e-learners. If you want something answered, ask as well too, Abby. I have what? There will be no questions on symmetry. Just remember the state test, the NWE test, you're going to be asked on symmetry on those as well too. But now that you know how to do them, they're really not that big of a deal. Remember, I give you a shape and I say, is there a way to draw a line so the left side matches the right side? The answer horizontally is no, but vertically the answer is yes. There's one line of symmetry. Thank you. Homework passed to the left. Is this all the homework? Occasionally, if you don't have a calculator that's solar powered, that's why I recommended you buy the TI-30 because it's solar powered type thing. Occasionally, I'll have a kid show up and my battery's died on my calculator. Okay, I showed them some mercy, but no mercy if you show up without a calculator. Yeah, this actually is my favorite calculator right here.
Like that.
It's a TI-36, but for some reason I like this one. The TI-30 is perfectly fine. There's minor differences between these two. This one I don't know if they make anymore, but the TI-30 I2 or double IS is the one I like. S means solar.
What's your difference?
What is it? Oh, you're missing homework? Yes. Oh no, this was homework from the 8th graders. A year from now, you will be doing that homework. All right, let me share this with the e-learners so they're not looking at a blank screen any longer.
How many e-learners are in other class now?
She might be the two.
Who's the other two? Grayson.
Why are you worried about things like
So I have
that?
a question. Guys, I have a question. Am I not allowed to have a question?
You are, but it should pertain to your own unique situation, not others. Like, Mr. C, how do I do number 4?
Today's the 8th, right?
Today is the 8th, yes.
Oh.
We are 10 weeks away from the end of school.
My brother's, my
You say 10 weeks or
10 weeks away.
Oh my god.
Vegan. We're almost there.
No, we're nowhere near.
Yes, we are.
10 weeks. 10 weeks is close.
10 weeks is
That's like
that's not 50,000 months.
What? A little over 2 months. Malachi, turn around, get to work. Is the radius or a circle? Think about that question.
Can we just put area first? Can we just put age for all of like
One more time.
Can we just put like H for all the areas for like the tropical? RA, correct.
You just put A. Hey, look at your test. It's broken down into 3 basic sections. You got
Amazing.
area, the first 5 or 6 questions, then you have volume, and then finally you have surface area. The last, is it 6 questions? Let me look. The last 6?
Wow. Amazing.
The last 4 questions are surface area questions.
I can afford
Lily.
4 questions.
I got some nerves today because my arm is having the same rash as it did in music.
Oh my god. Dude, that ice is
I'm not even
scary.
touching
Wow.
What did she do last time you
I
did?
don't know. She gave me ice. Yeah, she gave her ice.
Dude, imagine that you're bringing every single one of your body. You're
Right.
not
We're totally gonna get
I got it, Doc. Where's the rest?
Jordan Goody.
It's scary.
You want me to make mother
What can I say?
Sometimes I have kids that have rashes, wonder what kind of doc.
Dude, that was just
Yeah, that's a reaction to something.
Just
Kidding, ice again.
she's just anti-Semitic.
You know, probably allergic to negative behavior.
No, did you know that 90% of the world's population?
Using that, I'm 16 and I want to be.
But that's what makes it trapezoid. That's why it's not her alone.
Oh my gosh, you got it.
No.
Can I go back?
That's it, get some work done.
Can I see what you did for that?
Get some work done first.
I said
You just literally started class, and you're already, get the first page done and go to bed. Malachi, stop messing around, get to work, please. Anybody need help right off the bat? Remember, the first 6 questions are area, not volume, not surface area, just plain old area. It's what we had the quiz on, yes.
There's 8 puzzles.
There's 8, sorry. 2 trapezoids, 2 triangles, 2 parallelograms, and 2 rectangles. And then there'll be 2 circles when you flip the page. Yes. Number 5. Let's take a look at number 5. I'm going to do this on my computer for you. Ben has a question on number 5. So 4-step procedure, Ben. First, what's the shape? Are you kidding me, Ben?
What?
Well played, sir. Now do push-ups. You had me excited there for a second.
What's that?
That looks
If
like
you remember right, the first question on the quiz was the same question, except it was 1. All the sides. And I did have a student miss that question. by the way.
That's the.
Somebody put 4 as the answer.
Oh, that was
Keegan.
No, it wasn't Keegan.
Oh,
Okay, I was like,
Malachi. It was
Elijah.
Elijah.
Yeah,
Elijah got an A too. That's crazy.
Amazing.
Lily, you
I
bring
got
it.
it.
She's gonna say 8.
I know somebody.
You
that
need
can
to
do
call,
it.
no, it's gonna switch it. I need to call your mom.
No, I'm just gonna say 8.
Well, dude.
not to interject some non-medical advice, but when the nurse gives you ice, you know what that really probably means?
No.
I don't know what's going on here. Take some ice, kid.
I'm dying. Nurse, I broke my arm. Hey, yo, that's really sad. Here's some ice.
I mean, I'm sorry.
Here's some
I'm trying to get rid of
Did you
inflammation.
accidentally
So.
snap your
It's not
spine?
going away.
Do whatever it is she told you to do. I'm not the nurse.
Yeah, well, she clearly isn't one either.
Why do you think your mom kisses your forehead when you have a fever?
She doesn't do that.
Because it's a new form of ice.
My mom would always kiss my forehead and her, and she goes, "Oh, this will make it better." It never made it.
It's a procedure.
Let me kiss all the back.
You could have tried to make it anything
Oh,
What?
I can't get
Well, that's what my belief is.
Like, here's the ice.
Here's some ice.
Imagine that. Oh.
All right, let's go. Let's work.
Let me get on my board.
So,
You know what TJ actually said? The area force here.
Okay, you put your mask on.
I have a question. Number
Number 4. What's it look like?
It looks like
I forgot.
What's the shape?
not reactive.
That's quadrilateral. What's a quad mean 4? What's a parallel? Like this, opposite sides are parallel or opposite sides are parallel? It's a trapezoid. That's what you gotta do. Nick, Kane, work.
is that a trapezoid or a
How many sides does a trapezoid have?
Equals 1,809.
So does that have 4 sides? How many sides does it have? 3 sides is always a. There you go.
What's the shape for switch? I'm a little sober.
How many sides does it have? So it can either be a trapezoid, a parallelogram, or a rectangle. Which one? What?
I'm debating between if it's a trapezoid or a.
I knew.
So a trapezoid or parallel, those are your best choices. Okay, so a trapezoid has 1 set of parallel sides, a parallelogram has 2 sets of parallel sides.
So, I mean. I'm not.
It's an anemone.
Like Redwood.
Yeah.
Or basement, sorry.
I have a question for
And then-
you. Help me with your
I have a
How
question.
many sides?
Oh.
You already did that, Joe.
So I have a question. How many ice packs did you get?
That's good enough.
What, from a nurse?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever went to.
I got 4 already.
I never be so clumsy. I was like,
What do you want?
Every time I go
Heavy
to
metal.
I'm at the ice.
Yeah, I know.
We all talk about like.
I want the fish out of that meat.
It's because I had a bruise or something.
I don't freeze.
Kyle, or Motrin, Trilum, ibuprofen.
Payday too.
What did you do on me? I gave you shit for one yawn.
We don't have a lot.
What's it taste like?
You probably drink poop again.
Yeah, I like that. My parents used to get it. Yes.
Hey, where do you want that? Heavy metal.
I feel great. I had
Malachi, why are you on your desk?
So do we eat your bananas with or without the skin?
Can we do number 9?
Preferably without the skin.
It's 7.5 times 7.
How many sides?
It's a square. Four.
Okay, so that means it's either a rectangle or a trapezoid.
I'm a
What's the difference
raspberry.
between those 3 shapes?
Nope.
The thing is, they'll be parents who drink it.
They're like,
Hey, no.
Right hand.
I got all A's on my
The square is a form of rectangle. Same as-
What is the beat to
That means divided by 2. I'm sorry, base number 2. There's 2 bases. See the dotted line? The dotted line touches the bottom and the top. Right? If it's turned sideways like this, the dotted line touches the left and the right. Okay? Those one is base 1, one is base 2. It doesn't matter which is which. So that would be 4 plus 10. Those are your 2 bases. The dotted line is the height.
That was quick.
All right, got nothing else for you.
What do they do all day?
What? No, this is a math.
Or she gives you $19.
Nice. And do what? Oh, okay. 5 by 6, 7, 6.
Geez, many times.
Remember, the video I deleted on YouTube, the gas station gave $19.
Okay, we'll do rectangle first. Is that 4 right? Not right.
It didn't.
Extend those lines.
I got one. No, it's just it didn't feel right. Like the didn't And if you get 3, then you can be able to upload or Oh yeah. One community guideline.
Josh, good work, please.
Okay.
Now, Josh.
$69 for 9 cards. 420 or 9.
Length and width are not very good descriptive terms. One of them is your length and one of them is your width.
Don't worry, they're rolling YouTube too.
I don't.
I don't need more shoes.
I told myself after the 13 that I would have 30.
I completely failed number 3.
No,
I don't know what I did.
Oh.
My parents completely failed me.
Josh, why are you standing? Sit, get to work. Well, then get some work done while you're standing.
Oh.
Number 3 is the base 2 or
Write
number
it down. Otherwise you're not gonna
The base is
My base is 17.
Wow.
7.
Was it 7 be the height?
$19 for 9.
Base 1 for
$19 for 14. I'm just gonna be stuck saying.
Yeah, they are.
$19 for
No, like seriously, guys.
$19. Da da da. You just have to round it. Da da da.
Which one?
Yeah, and I was,
2. I need to recap today.
For two.
11.
$69 for $69. Don't share.
Nice. Stop him.
$19 for 9
I
cards.
did the wrong math again.
This will help you out.
What's so good about this cup?
When you notice it's on this page, it's not on these.
You just gotta add that 0.0.
It's got four-
There's a third button.
one square, one-
Just imagine.
So the one that has four squares-
Nick, there's a third
All
button.
right, so the what's the difference between this one and this?
I have a special calculator.
$19 for 9 cards.
What's the difference between this one? All the way.
$19 Why are you sitting over there?
Here to help Keegan.
$19 for 9 cards. Yeah, like,
Hey, my rash is starting.
Keegan. Can we stop over today?
$19 for 9 cards.
This is like looking at.
Don't do this to me, Jello. $19 for 9 $19.
You have to get a
Say your last words for me. $19.
Jade, what number you on? Come on, let's go. What is the shape?
Keegan, what's 10 times 10?
Because it has four right angles, yes? I know you did. And I'm pointing to number one, which is a rectangle. Notice this one has four right angles. Does this one have four right angles? It doesn't, so it can't be a rectangle. How many sides does it have? How many sides does it have? That's why that's a triangle.
Silent Crunch.
You use the appropriate wording.
I just want to be happy.
Not
Just that.
Is that how you write that?
What did the nurse say?
Hi.
Okay, but what did she say?
Ice.
Did she say?
It has that
It gets worse. Don't.
Hi.
Silent Crunch. Next thing you know, 10K.
I should try.
No. I'll give her eyes. You guys.
Do you like having this having a speaker?
You need
She wants to fight with that.
Make a resource card.
Got it, Keegan.
Silence Crunch. I do not wish to be political anymore. I want to be honest.
Keegan, can you help me?
I'm 16. Silence Crunch.
Oh, big brain. I did it. Why is there a sun?
You're not doing anything. You're just distracted. Got some work done. So we're doing.
You got it. It should be in your It's like in
Yep.
No, because it's square. and it's multiplication. Look at those big lines. All equals I, R.
I'll have to show you. I'll have to send you.
I gotta watch it right
I lost my Discord nitro today.
Noah, turn around, get to work.
I am the
There
word.
you go. That's our friends, man. They're
I
trusting
do
you.
not wish to talk. I just
Ben,
Will be big numbers. Wait. Times.
Cheeseburger.
I accidentally dropped the energy bar.
I heard.
It's a dog.
I thought you had a
Like that. Oh my gosh. It does to me.
Flip it over.
That's my father's name.
Says it's
Ah.
good.
Silence. I do not wish to talk anymore.
You and I both said the same thing. Somehow we transposed the numbers. That's, you have the answer right there. You wrote it back. I said it back. You said 1,757. But we wrote the right answer. Yeah, because you use 3.14, they use the 5. So that's why ours is a little bit smaller than this. Four.
No.
No, I'm just gonna say.
That's yours. Was it?
Aiden.
Remember?
Because it's the life. It's your life. You said it comes too close to home. So I had to make it
Hey, you
better.
know what the best air is? The Sioux Wars were funny, the High Wars. Whenever you unplug it's just go da da da. It's just go like hi da 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 da.
Hey, Josh,
I'm
get your
18
stuff
and I
over
want
here.
to fight.
All right.
Wait, how did Brian from?
It's time to be a mathematician. Mathematician. I do not.
How liquor what?
Just search up on your YouTube. Just search I want to be 16 and I want to be Trump. Hello, hello, your computer has virus. Bougie.
Rectangular prism.
Hello, I'm under the wonder. Hello,
I can't. I'll watch all of the donation when you're talking about that.
Lily, come on, let's see. You're not doing a good job.
I forgot them all.
Here's one down.
I
I'm taking base of the triangle.
T,
And then put a T underneath it. It's not plus symbol, it's a T, so base of the triangle.
What?
Times height of the triangle.
We have to do it. We have to masturbate cons.
Times height of the prism.
Silence.
So in other words, you're not looking. You're trying to height of this thing.
What did we have?
All right. What is it? It's not a circle.
No, you do. You start the word. War. Oh, we get
So
like 25 class and all just like,
19.
I'm number 8.
Just trying to work.
That makes so much more sense. I'm
Yes.
Jay, we've been working for 36 minutes. You're on number 3. There's 24 of us. We have to be able to do this in class. Right. You're not very slow, you're very distracted.
I need to find the
You're perfectly fast when you are focused.
What
I
is
need
that?
you to be focused. Focus. Whatever it takes for you to be more focused is what we gotta concentrate on.
oh, like,
You're not that slow.
yes.
Is that a radius?
Okay.
Radius. So what did you type in? 5 times 6 squared times.
I wish not to try fast anymore. I just want to be at
you need help Keegan.
Wasn't even a mistake, we just made the wrong answer.
$19.
But you can put PI if you don't like to do that.
I don't know what to do for number 8.
What's the shape? And you have the right formula. The dotted line touches the 2 bases. So what are the 2 bases?
10.2 and 3.2.
And it says add them and put them inside parentheses.
Wait, no, it's gonna say
No, it says add. That's your mistake. If you have a look, right here. Look, you put a plus right there. You did it right there. So that's not your mistake. That's a minor mistake. Yeah.
That's what made this stuff the whole time.
Which one? Volume or surface area? Width times height. Right? And then this one is 1/2 base of the triangle times height of the triangle times height of the course.
You know you have a ball.
Keegan, don't listen to him.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the first person who goes bald because his hair is
He's
so
already been bald once.
Because my hair's so what?
long right now. It's usually that like the boy that has the longest hair in school.
$49.
I'm making that up. Not based upon any.
Have you felt how thick my hair is?
No, and nor will I.
No, it's like
$9.
You gotta spend more than 5 seconds on your hair, then you need to change your life.
I never spend a second on my hair.
I'm pretty certain you don't even spend 4 seconds.
I don't spend 0.00.
I bet you just wake up and, yeah, I'm awake, time goes.
I brush my hair.
One brush.
You would kill it.
Yes, I'm very.
Yes.
So how many people dance the tango?
I don't get it.
That's my
When
best
2
guess.
people are doing something that they both control.
Yeah, it's my fault. I get this real thing up. Fight. So you just drive right
Malachi, turn around, get back to work.
Mr. Chartier, I need help on number 15.
What's the shape?
I'll wrap it together.
Are we doing surface area or volume?
Volume.
Length times width times height. Hey, everybody stop what you're doing. Listen up. All right, mid-class speech. Hey, I can't tell you the number of people who have asked me, hey, I don't remember this formula. right? If you've already forgotten your formulas and you don't think there's a necessity or requirement for having a resource card, you're fooling yourself. I've literally had 4 people now ask me what's the formula for the easiest shape, the volume of a rectangular prism, length times width times height. If you've already forgotten that, none of you even had any questions when we did it the first time, and now all of a sudden we've had people forget it. Yeah, it's different when you do surface area of rectangular prism as well too. Right, it's all 6 sides added up together, the area of them. Make sure you have a resource card. All right, continue working. No. What?
James, ready?
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Oh my gosh, Kate.
Oh, yeah.
Raise your hand.
That way we're only looking at that time. Because the first thing, the square
She's probably escaped the mental hospital too.
I have not.
Finding out they want to be.
Do you know how many people have died from COVID?
That was
Silent.
Okay, you're doing nothing. Do you want me to stand here and watch you the whole time? Okay, so I need you to do some more work.
Oh, I got it right. I'm not.
Well, you had it right, so you told me, give me the numbers. And then what did you do? Yeah, but then what else was the formula say do? Yeah, but notice where your parentheses is right here? It's the left of the H. How come it's the right here? And there's no hyphen.
British rappers be like,
Yes, you did.
I'll give you I.
No, get your math done. Get your math done.
I just multiply those two to get the answer.
Yeah, because, remember, it's
10
based
pages.
on.
Got a big brain, boy.
And remember, you're all
Different
different
yells.
square.
Same, yeah.
You can find the base of the height. Base of the height by trying. You see the square?
Yes, I give it.
Don't get blocked. So this side is your base and this side is your height. How long is this side? How long is this side? Yeah. And then the distance between the two triangles. Look at it again. How far is it between the two triangles? $19 for it.
Help me.
Look at the two triangles.
Silence.
Look at my hands. To me, they look like the top and bottom.
I did not wish to
Did you look at the two triangles? Is one above the other? So
We have
how far is
music
it
or
between-
art?
No, that's the height. Now you're just guessing. So, this.
How about
What do I do for the height? Am I supposed to make it actual number?
That one is hard. Triangular prisms are hard for volume.
That's the base.
Malachi, you're not doing any work. Let's go, get the work
These
done.
for the basics. Okay.
No, he said these two.
Easy.
10.2.
Riley, put your mask on.
Yeah, he said
I'm doing it.
You're next.
Getting there. Kind of. I'm happy.
Yeah.
What does it do for height?
This is the height.
No, it's not.
Yes.
That's the second base.
Felicity, mask.
No, that's the height.
Hey, what are we doing?
Get
Get your stuff out.
No.
Get your stuff out.
You see,
Why did you put it away?
we
Come
do
on, let's go.
3.2.
What's the shape? Touch. Take a deep breath. Calm down a second. All right, which one are we doing?
Times.
All right, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. How many sides is
One
that?
guy that actually just wanted to make
How many sides? Okay, so it can't be a triangle. Triangle will have 3 sides. So it's not a triangle. It's either a rectangle or this shape or this shape. If it's a rectangle, it has 4 right angles.
What
It
if
has
I
4 right
did
angles. So it's either this one or this one. Do you remember the name of this one? Parallelogram. All the sides or opposite sides are parallel to each other. That means the top and the bottom are parallel to each other, the left and right are parallel to each other. If it's a parallelogram, opposite sides will be parallel, or opposite sides parallel to this one. That makes it a trapezoid. 4 sides and only 1 set of sides are parallel to each other. So this is area of a trapezoid.
Silence friend.
I'm going to tell you the formula, but step number 1 was identify the shape, right? So you have to be able to identify the shape first, then you look at your resource card and you come up with the
I'm
formula.
good. I did it.
Silence.
Here's the formula.
I do not wish to be
Open
silent.
parentheses, base 1
All right,
plus
look, watch.
base 2
So-
times the height divided by 2.
Parenthesis 10.2.
There's the formula.
Okay.
Okay,
Mr. C, I still have the same wrong answer.
gotta be careful with math. All right.
And the parenthesis times 2. Quick intermission. Plus 3.8 and the parenthesis times 3.4. Divided by 2.
When did I hear
That's
about
what I did.
Did you get your
So
What?
Hold on, your calculator.
Are you ready? No, if I get it wrong, you see,
If you get it wrong, calculator.
now it's gone. If I see you out of your desk again, you can way too many times.
Oh,
Grow up first. Give me shit.
they're so happy I finally did it.
Talk about $19 food.
No, I was up
Dang, that's a big $19 food.
So, on the triangle, we have the height is 6.8.
Keep watching birds.
I don't think he's watching. I think he's watching something.
Talk about $19 for
Why? Because I always do it.
I mean, look at that here.
Dang, I don't like the money.
Are you excited for the picture?
Life's good, but it can be better. Life is good. It can be better.
Oh, fuck.
But it can be
Yeah, there's a dip in your hair.
That's because I wear a headset.
Oh, what?
Life is alien.
When's the last time you
Life
washed
is
your hair?
Shrek.
Yesterday.
Shrek is love. Shrek is life.
Identity.
Have you seen the This Is America? Call Me Maybe.
You guys swear.
That's so cringe. No.
Have you seen Shrek?
Dude,
Yes. Okay, where are we at, Jay? Did we get it right? Well, come on, you're just kind of sitting there. You plugged the numbers, 4 and 10, I agree. The height is 4, and yeah, do that. Grab your calculator, do it. Where is
No cheating.
I'm not.
On your state.
I'm just trying to figure out how to get
why would you leave it in Mr. Calculator? My advice to you is never take
Now, I want to
everything
say
out.
this
in
is
the-
No.
Do you know how to type that into a calculator?
Like, you get
Move on to the
number
next.
10 is tax, right?
huh?
Tax, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone have problems on that?
Jameson,
I just want to.
and here's the back to see.
What?
19.
Everyone, $19. What?
Hey, turn around, let them finish their work. Caden. You done? You gonna remember your calculator? I've heard that before.
Kaden.
86.
The one time you did it.
But it was
What's the shape?
Silence. I do not know.
What's formula?
Over
Base times height. What's the base?
How about crack myself? 11.
Look at the little tiny square. Square. And the height. There you go. See what happens when you concentrate? I mean, you've done this like 5 seconds.
Just shows you that you can drive.
If you want to hear my impression of a Discord moderator, just look at Keegan.
Remember, share.
Handy.
And don't forget.
As a Discord moderator, I can.
You don't need it. Everyone but her.
What is it?
Jaden. See ya. All right, e-learners, we're gonna do the same thing tomorrow. We're gonna do it in silent conditions tomorrow. So if between now and then you have any questions, make sure you send me a chat or no, put it back. Now go away. It's not yours. Go away. Macy, if I hear you play that in class, once class, I don't care before the bell rings. If I hear you play that in class, it is mine for the day. Okay? It has a life of its own. It's moving around.